In our starry sky, a line passes by three important stars and the two galactic poles. You see the red dashed line? This alignment might explain the origin of Anzu, the Sumerian lion-headed eagle. The three stars are Regulus in the Leo constellation, Altair in Aquila, and Sirius, the brightest of all stars. Anzu is the son of Ceres, the beer brewer's goddess, like Isis, the Egyptian goddess associated with the star Sirius. This outermost view is like flying around the sky dome above our solar system, which is the ecliptic plane. Let's add the ecliptic grid and see our solar system. From Earth, the Anzu red line oscillates with the 24-hour Earth rotation. The ecliptic line with the Sun, Moon, and planets is also oscillating because of the Earth's obliquity. Like an equator, this alignment is a perfect great circumference on our spherical sky. This means a 360-degree angular distance circle of our sky, a challenge for probability science. What's next is mind-blowing. Notice the Milky Way. We add a green dashed line. This is the galactic equator. We can also add the green galactic grid with its two poles. The galactic equator and its two poles were important for our ancestors, not the grid. The ecliptic and the galactic poles symbolize the tree of life, like the Sumerian Huluppu tree. Amazingly, the Anzu line passed by the two galactic poles of the Milky Way. Ask any probability mathematician what he thinks of such a coincidence. In the past, the configuration of the starry sky allowed our ancestors to observe the Anzu line circling perfectly the horizon. When the Anzu circle set on the horizon, the Milky Way or galactic equator, here in green, passed by the zenith. This setting is for South Mesopotamia, 4000 BC. Many ancient cultures describe the vertical plunging of the Milky Way as the thunderbolts of the Orion constellations, like Zeus, Jupiter, Thor, Indra, or Marduk. We show again the galactic grid with its two poles and the stars, Altair, Sirius, and Regulus, on the horizon. This setting is a good opportunity to measure the angular distances between these three stars using the azimuth on the horizon. In this setting, the two galactic poles are also on the horizon, splitting four arcs of 90 degrees each with the galactic line. It is a great moment to spot these poles among the constellations. Notice the yellow line paralleling the Milky Way equator. We're looking southeast. Now let's check Orion looking northwest. The yellow line passed by Betelgeuse in Orion to join Altair at exactly a 180-degree angular distance. In one version, Anzu is a good guardian and the son of Ceres. In another version, he is a villain thief. Marduk hunt Anzu with an arrow. Sumerian named Sirius Kaksisa, the arrow star. At first, those stories were a clever way to learn astronomy. Superstition and political power came later. You can check this value by using the Hammer-Antioff projection in Stellarium and tracing the entire Anzu line across the whole sky. We use a similar projection to see the whole world. Once the Anzu circle sets on the horizon, we can project all these azimuths on a two-dimensional image using a stereoscopic projection in Stellarium. From the simulation, you see a 7-minute setting of the Anzu line. We can notice that Altair and Sirius are almost at the same angular distance from the galactic pole by a 1.4 degree difference. Notice the two branches of the Milky Way plunging vertically on the horizon. Orion's hammer is at the intersection between the ecliptic and the galactic line. Note the 60-degree angle between these lines. In mythology, the Milky Way separates a terrestrial from an oceanic world. Regulus is the only important star on the ecliptic line. Notice the dashed yellow line related to the Anzu line. Altair is 98.4 degrees from the North Galactic Pole and Sirius at 97. The two stars are in the oceanic world beyond the Milky Way coastline. The Milky Way separates the terrestrial world from the chaotic oceanic world. This my-theme is recurrent in many cultures around the world. Watch our video on the Milky Way. As soon as the moon waxes a little, this boundary disappears and the sea invades the land. Only the brightest stars, gods, and goddesses survive the flood. The moon is an ark, saving terrestrial beings. Anzu is related to the flood. Thunderbolt symbols side Anzu. His mother is Ceres, the beer brewer's goddess, like Isis, the Egyptian goddess associated with Sirius star. Sirius is just by the Milky Way compared to the beer brewing.